Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? So, version 2.2 is almost here. And with it, the most important decision of your life, at least until 2.3 drops. Your Asterites are crying, your pity is in ruins, and Kuro Games is standing by like a tax collector ready to claim your entire savings. Be warned, 2.2 and possibly even 2.3 will be a relentless asteroid robbery operation. Parading must-have banners in front of you until your wallet weeps. God damn, Kuro! But fear not. In this video, I'm here to guide you through this financial battlefield, dissecting the 2.2 banners featuring Cantarella, Shorekeeper, and Camellya. Who is worth your precious pulls? Who will be power crept before you can even enjoy them? And who is actually a 5-star in name only? Let's dive in and find out before your savings disappear faster than your sanity, causing an early midlife crisis. Let's kick things off with Cantarella, the newest limited 5-star coming to version 2.2. She brings in crowd control, coordinated attacks, resident skill buffs, healing, and probably a kitchen sink in her kit. She's gotta be the Jinshi support we never knew we needed, or maybe didn't actually need at all. Slowing down enemies sounds cool until you realize it disappears as soon as they get hit, meaning you have a whopping 0.0001 second to enjoy that effect. Truly amazing. Some of her abilities, including her best in slot weapon, are either classified as echo skills or have echo skill effects. I have no idea how that works exactly, but it sure sounds like she can dish out absurd amounts of damage. Maybe Kuro just decided that mechanics are optional when it comes to making her overpowered. The crazy thing about her is that she mostly only requires attack stats, and her healing abilities scales off of it, making her one of the easiest units to build, with a ridiculously wide selection of Sonata sets to choose from. She fits into multiple team compositions with minimal effort. It's almost unfair. While other characters are out here juggling multiple stats and coping with awkward substats, she's just vibing with attack stacking and laughing her way to top tier sustain. Versatility? She practically invented the word. Her real selling point is her coordinated attacks and havoc damage amplification, which makes her a must-pull if you want to turbocharge your Jinshi. She's also your go-to if you're allergic to using Zheje or Yinlin, or if you're tired of making the classic Jinshi double DPS mess work. Her outro skill buffs havoc damage, so she's basically saying, if you don't have Roccia, just use me. However, there's a catch. Her field time. If she needs to be on the field too much, she risks being an expensive side grade to Yin Lin. And let's be honest, do we really need another character suffering from Yin Lin syndrome? Still, for Jinshi mains, she's borderline mandatory. So, brace yourselves for a very painful pity. She could also be the undisputed best in slot sustained bot for Camellia, a role we never realized we needed until Kuro Games decided we did. And you know what? They might have a point. Camellia, for all her spin to win glory, has the interruption resistance of a wet paper towel. One stray breeze and she's on the floor, regretting her life choices. So, enter Cantarella, ready to heal, buff, and keep Camellya is standing long enough to actually dish out damage instead of face planting mid-combo. It's almost poetic. One is a whirlwind of havoc damage. The other is the safety net that makes sure the whirlwind doesn't get blown away. Synergy, folks. Now, let's move on to the Shorekeeper, the buff queen, healer, crit rate dealer, damage amplifier, part-time DPS. She basically does it all, and she does it disgustingly well. If you don't have her, just uninstall. Okay, maybe don't uninstall, but seriously, she's that good. Her ability to buff crit rate and crit damage means your main DPS will never have to cope with 50-50 crit sadness ever again. Oh, and her special intro skill. It actually does damage. Revolutionary if you're running Carlotta, Jinshi, Shangliao, or literally anyone who breathes crit, she is an essential unit to partner. The cons. She's about as energy efficient as a broken flashlight, except even a flashlight can hold a charge for more than 5 seconds. If enemies have the audacity to move faster than a sloth on vacation, good luck keeping them inside her liberation's area of effect. But let's be real here, you're pulling her anyways. The truth is, calling these cons is like calling a scratch on a sports car a deal breaker. There are barely any real negatives. Sure, her damage won't make you question reality until you stack some sequences, but as a sustain buffer, she's basically a gift from the Kuro gods. You don't even need to think about it. Just pull and pretend you made the decision yourself. Now, we get to Camellya, the character that Kuro wants you to believe is worth pulling. But let's be honest, they might actually be right this time. She's an AoE Havoc DPS who spins to win, making her a blender in human form, ideal for mob fights. She also scales off basic attack damage, meaning she pairs perfectly with Sanhua. And guess what? Sanhua is free. That's right, Kuro is actually giving you a piece of the meta for zero investment. What a miracle. She does more damage than Havoc Rover, sure, but let's not kid ourselves. Havoc Rover is basically your starter pack. Camellya's only real downside, her animations can be interrupted, meaning she might spend half the fight getting staggered if you don't invest in her sequences. But really, that's not a big deal. Every character has drawbacks. At worst, she's a slightly needy DPS. At best, she's a spin-to-win Havoc menace with basically no major downsides. Unless you have a personal vendetta against Fun, she's a solid pull. Alright, with all of those out of the way, it's time for the hard truth. If you don't have Shorekeeper, stop thinking and pull. She's the best support in the game, and we probably won't see a better buffer for a very long time. If you want your DPS to actually crit and not feel like they're rolling dice at a casino, then Shorekeeper is your answer. If you already have the Shorekeeper, then Cantarella is next on the priority list. She's Jinshi's new best friend and a solid support for Havoc DPS units. She can even replace Roccia if you missed her, making her one of the most flexible units in the game. Her coordinated attacks and buffs ensure she stays relevant for a long time, so she's not going anywhere anytime soon. Finally, Camellya. Okay, she's fun, don't get me wrong. A spinning Havoc blender that turns enemies into paste. But compared to Cantarella and Shorekeeper, she's not exactly what you'd call necessary. There are other DPS units who can dish out similar or better numbers without being interrupted every few seconds. And with Carlotta lurking in the shadows of a potential rerun, Camellya's value isn't exactly skyrocketing. Unless, of course, you love her spin-to-win playstyle and the fact that she looks ridiculously cool doing it. And this is yet another painful reminder that DPS units have an expiration date. While support units just get stronger over time, damage dealers come and go. But a good support will carry your account for years, so choose wisely. At the end of the day, your pulls are already decided based on your savings and whether Kuro Games feels like being generous, or punishing you with a weapon banner disaster. Free will? A myth. Your fate? Sealed the moment you clicked install on Wuthering Waves. But hey, at least you have a battle plan now. That said, if you truly love a character, their lore, design, playstyle, or even just their vibes, don't let anyone, including myself, tell you otherwise. At the end of the day, this is a game and games are meant to be fun. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves between pity resets. As a proud Camellya and Shorekeeper haver, I can only offer my complete, biased, unfiltered, and possibly unhinged perspective while breaking down Cantarella's strength. So, pull wisely, or don't. Either way, just make sure you actually enjoy your haul. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss my brand of Wuthering Waves content. And if you need a support group for your gacha regrets, join our Discord. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!